Okay, once you get the basics, and it's not getting the basics, it's about doing the basics over and over and over again. So you're going to do the first thing, the first video we did of just the basics of from the high compressed to pushing out and aligning your sights. You're going to do that all the time. You're going to do that every other day, every third day, every fourth day. You can do that multiple times a week. That's the most basic thing you should be doing, at least in my opinion. After you do that, something else you should be doing, there's something very important. If you're actually going to be drawing from the holster, because you're going to be concealed carrying, so you should actually practice drawing from the holster. I carry right here on my hip, right, 3 o'clock. So that's how I practice. I have my gun on my belt in my amazing $15 holster that I have. Again, I'm not totally into carrying a concealed carry. I conceal carry, but I'm not totally into holsters. Maybe I would appendix carry at a different point in my life. Right now, I mean, most of the time I carry guns at work, and it's outside the waistband. It's in my duty belt. So I don't put too much effort into my concealed carry. I don't go out that much. I go out maybe for a few times a day, maybe maximum. Sometimes I don't go out at all. So I don't put too much thought into my concealed carry. But you might get a better holster. I mean, actually appendix carry. I do not like carrying on your backside. I think it's unsafe, even though it's very comfortable. It's the most comfortable way to carry. And when you're standing up straight, it's pretty concealed. But if you bend over, then it's not concealed anymore, and it's not very safe. So I don't like people carrying on their back. But either, like me, I carry on my side, my 3 o'clock, or appendix carry if you want to do that. If you're not, I guess, sitting down or bending down all day, it's an option. Okay, so the first thing to do when you're drawing from the holster is getting your clothing out of the way. Okay, it starts with how you actually put your gun actually in your holster. All right, so don't put your gun in your holster underneath multiple layers of clothing. Put it underneath one layer of clothing. So right now I'm wearing a sweatshirt. Sorry. So I make sure my undershirt, is underneath my gun. My gun's over top my undershirt. Okay, and then there's going to be, I get my gun out. I make sure I already get a good grip. Try to get a good grip before I even get the gun out. Either I can do it, already have the good grip, or I put my thumb on the back of the slide, and as I'm getting it out, I put my thumb around where I'm supposed to put it. As soon as you get the gun up towards the target. As soon as you get it towards the middle of your chest, or even closer, get 2 hands on the gun. I like this method of having your gun with 2 hands already at your high chest, and then the last thing is just pushing out. Pushing out. Okay? Just one pro tip, people when they tend to push out quickly, they tend to push down the gun like this. It happens when you kind of draw and push out quickly. So I would say get it out, push it really quick, because you want to get out quick, obviously, because it's a life or death situation. But then towards the end of your draw, kind of slow down. So it goes, like just the last 20% of your draw, kind of slow it down so it doesn't do that dip. Okay, so we're going to practice that. Again, it's not about speed. I'll slow it down. It's really not about speed. It's about getting the fundamentals. So it's the 2 hands. Already have the good grip. The 2 hands, pull it up, push out. Don't try to be too fast, especially when you first start, because then you'll be really quick at doing it wrong. And again, the last stage is actually having it pushed out and having your targets aligned. Obviously, there's no rush to putting it back in your holster. You never have to as a civilian, you almost never have to put your gun quickly into your holster. As a police officer, sometimes you do, because sometimes you have your gun out, and then all of a sudden you have to go hands-on and start, you need your 2 hands to arrest someone. As a civilian, there's no real... It would be very uncommon where you really need to holster your gun quickly. You're not arresting someone at the end of your altercation or interaction with some guy. Okay, so remember, get the fundamentals. The most important thing is getting your dominant hand, your shooting hand, on the gun with it already out of the holster with a good grip. Do this for a few more minutes. You're going to do it for a few more minutes. Probably do it for a few more seconds. Oh yeah. And then towards the end, try to see how fast you can go. It's really good to actually have your own camera, just your own phone, and video yourself to see how it looks in slow motion, so you can see if you're doing it all right. Again, I really like doing it, especially when you're practicing. Most of the time, just going slow. Again, up. I like having it at high compression and then pushing it out straight. For whatever reason, some people I've seen, they go like this. Don't do that. That's a waste of time. Just take it out, high chest, push out straight, push out straight. You want it at every single point. Here, 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 here. You basically have the gun straight, and you could shoot if you need to. If guy's 5 feet away, if you can shoot, you can still shoot. You can shoot, you can shoot, you can shoot, and you'd still hit someone who's directly in front of you. Okay.